One of the most fascinating and informative information or intelligence gathering platforms or methods is the NOTAM, or Notice to Airmen. Now, NOTAMs, for those of you that don't know, are basically memos to pilots. Anything a pilot might need to know flying an aircraft in the United States is going to get a NOTAM, such as NOTAMs can be issued for a wide variety of things. Anything from lights being out at an airport to a change in approach or some kind of maintenance on the ground. Any of this normal stuff that pilots need to know will be issued in the form of a NOTAM. Now, from an analytical side of the house, what we are interested mostly in is what's called ROZs, or Restricted Operating Zones, or Restricted Orbiting Zones, depending on which agency you hear the acronym from. Now, pilots know these as TFRs. As you can see right here at the top of this website, they're listed as TFRs, or Temporary Flight Restrictions. Basically, this is airspace that you can't fly in unless you meet certain parameters or part of some kind of agency, right? So we can zoom in and check out this map and check out all of these interesting little particular TFRs. And so, for instance, let's zoom in here to this one here, this really big one here in Northern California. We can zoom right in with a map. Now this map, I should mention, this website that we're going to provide in the link description below, this is not the best website, but it is the one from the FAA and therefore is the most reliable one for this particular purpose. So let's zoom right in and we can see, I guarantee you that's Beale Air Force Base. And yep, we see right here, hover over it, hover over this little ring, and it will tell you what the NOTAM is, what number it is. And this one is 1/6916, which is right here at the top. I already see it. So we can open that in a new tab and look at the NOTAM. Now this is interesting. This is where you start getting into like why is there a restricted operating zone? And for this one, we don't really get that much. We do know that it is in fact at Beale Air Force Base. And the reason for the NOTAM is temporary flight restrictions for special security reasons. And it is a security NOTAM. So we don't really know what it is. You can scroll down here to the operating restrictions and requirements and you can kind of get a gist, but in this particular one where we get nothing. It is a bare bones NOTAM. And sometimes you'll find these. Most of the time it's going to be some kind of DoD thing like you'll see them out in Nevada a lot with temporary flight restrictions for things like experimental aircraft or some kind of weapons testing that's new and they don't know if it's going to blow up or not. Stuff like that. And, we don't want people taking pictures of that from a military side of the house. So that's temporary. That's typically what these temporary flight restrictions are for when it comes to things like the DoD. So this one, it could be nefarious. It couldn't be. There's literally no information to allow us to see very much from this. And I should mention that not all NOTAMs are nefarious. A lot of times, you'll one of the coolest things to do is you can check out and you can sort of predict when there's going to be a SpaceX launch because they will issue a NOTAM for that. Hey, there's going to be a rocket going up, and they'll be able to tell you, give you a rough timeline for when that launch is going to be, even before the company releases that information. So if we go back over here to the main map, we can see all these other different security ones, of course, for California. We can zoom out to the main United States, and there's one in particular I wanted to show you, and this shows the value of this. So let's zoom in to the DC area once again. So we zoom into the DC area here, and I can show you the normal Washington DC security zone. 1155 is right there, and what we're interested in are these two actually, these two NOTAMs. Now this is very, very interesting because what I can do is, let's just use the outer cordon here for a second. 1/9483. So if we open up this NOTAM, we can start to get clues as to who this NOTAM might be for. And we can actually take a look and see, all right, cool, the reason for the NOTAM is temporary flight restrictions for VIP movement. Well, there's only a few VIPs in the United States that could actually technically warrant airspace restrictions over their particular area. And as you can see, it's a VIP type movement. So if we scroll all the way down, we get specific information for pilots and what to do and all that kind of stuff. And then we get a very long list, which if you've been doing this for a while, this is a copy-paste format that a particular person puts in, a particular agency puts in fact. And we can start reading these requirements, and you can see right here, all aircraft operations within the 12 nautical mile ring area listed above, known as the inner core, are prohibited except for approved law enforcement. Okay, that makes sense. But this next line is our biggest clue here. Military aircraft directly supporting the United States Secret Service and the Office of the President of the United States. That's a pretty big clue. And you can go down and you can read all of this other stuff here. You could pause it on screen and read all this stuff. It's very, very interesting, and the stuff that is allowed and required, and squawking special codes. See, ATC assigned discrete code to come into the area. Very interesting to see how these TTPs work out. But if you really want to know who this is for, you scroll down to the very bottom, and this will tell you who requested the RAS, or the TFR, or the restricted airspace. In this case, it's New York Center, so it's really not giving us that much. But the next one down is, on what authority are they requesting restricted airspace? Well, if we drop that into Google, that particular U.S. title code, we get this: flight restrictions in the proximity of the presidential and other parties. Very interesting. And if we go back and we look at the map, that flight restriction area is in Wilmington, Delaware. And if we open up a very quick, if you didn't already know this already, you can Google the importance of Wilmington, Delaware, and find out that Joe Biden's house is there. That's the home that he lived at before assuming the office of the president. And there you go. So yeah, that's how you can use a NOTAM using federal agencies and things like that to find out exactly what's going on in a particular area. This particular NOTAM was issued yesterday, and it is for the weekend. So we can, with reliable confidence, say that President Biden will most likely be transiting back to his home in Wilmington, Delaware, from the 16th to the 19th. Maybe not the whole time, and it might not be him. It might be just his wife going back, or maybe a relative, or maybe his son going back because he warrants Secret Service protection apparently. But yeah, these NOTAMs are always really handy to check out and make sure you follow them very closely, especially for your local area. Or even if you know that there's a protest going down in an area, you can get an idea as to who might be surveilling that protest or riot or whatever, just based on the NOTAM. So like for Minneapolis, we were watching it, and a lot of people were aware that we were pushing out, hey, there's a NOTAM for this area, and it's requested by federal law enforcement. And sure enough, there's an unmarked, unnamed surveillance fixed-wing aircraft orbiting the area within that RAS, so you know exactly who or what agency that is. So it's very handy for finding out information and tracking things like protests and riots. So that's why NOTAMs can be a very valuable intelligence collection method and are very valuable for tracking events.